You know, the world's changing so fast, our instincts just can't keep up. The old rules for staying safe, whether you're at home, on the road, or even at the doctor's office, they're all being rewritten. So today, we're going to unpack the new rules of risk for 2026 and the updated playbook you absolutely need to protect yourself.
So let me ask you straight up. Is your plan for dealing with a car crash, a medical problem, or an issue at home based on how the world worked 5 years ago or the world we're living in right now? Because that gap, man, it's getting bigger, and a lot of people are getting caught out. The ground is literally shifting under our feet. The old rules, they're kind of going out the window. New technologies, new ways of working, even our changing climate. They're all introducing these new kinds of risks that can blindside you anywhere, from your morning commute to your own living room. And you see this most clearly with tech, right? We rely on it for everything. It makes life so much easier. But there's a hidden cost. When that tech fails, whoa, the mess it leaves behind is way more complicated and honestly, way more damaging than anything we've dealt with before.
Okay, check out this story from Birmingham. So this driver is just cruising along and bam, their Tesla just slams on the brakes for no reason. The car gets totaled, a battery fire kicks off, and the whole situation gets really messy really fast.
Right away, the insurance company points the finger at the driver. Classic move. But then their attorney gets involved, pulls the car's data, and suddenly, the whole story flips. The final settlement? $210,000. The key wasn't just the money, it was how they proved it. And this is what it all boiled down to. The company's saying, oh, it's driver error. But the black box data? It tells a totally different tale. It was a technology failure. That data was the single key that unlocked the truth and the compensation.
And hey, this isn't just about cars. A patient was having chest pains and used one of those telemedicine services. The AI tool she used, it basically looked at her symptoms and said, it's just anxiety. I mean, can you believe that? A massive, catastrophic mistake.
She ends up in the emergency room, needing urgent heart surgery. So they had to prove that the AI, the algorithm, just flat out missed the super obvious signs of a serious heart problem. That proof led to a settlement of $875,000. I love this analogy. It's just perfect. Think about it. We're all trained to just trust the screen, right? To follow the map. But what happens when that digital guide is just dead wrong? It can lead you right off a cliff, all while telling you to ignore the real-world warning signs right in front of your face. It's not just fancy tech either. The whole gig economy is bringing its own set of risks. Take this DoorDash driver in Atlanta. He gets rear-ended during a delivery, injures his back pretty badly, and when he reaches out for help, the company just tells him, sorry, you're not covered. So the company's whole argument was, hey, he's an independent contractor, not an employee, so no workers' comp for him. But after a legal fight, he ended up getting $112,000 in benefits. So how'd he end up winning?
It was, again, a battle of stories. The app's fine print said one thing, but the actual law in Georgia, well, when you show them the right proof about his job, it says something completely different. It was a classic case of the real-world facts overriding the corporate fine print.
All right, so we've seen these new risks pop up with our cars, with our jobs, but here's the really scary part. They're also showing up in the one place we're supposed to feel totally safe, our own homes. So get this. Warmer weather is causing this huge explosion in termite problems, especially down in the home itself. What was a, $5 to $7 billion problem here in the US is on track to be a $40 billion problem worldwide. That's a crazy jump, and it hits homeowners directly. And this quote just nails it. It's one of those sneaky threats, It starts out small, completely out of sight. But if you ignore those early signs, which are showing up way more often now thanks to climate shifts, the damage to your home's foundation can be just devastating.
Okay, so let's just pause for a second and connect the dots here. A self-braking car, a faulty AI diagnosis, a delivery driver's insurance fight, a termite problem. On the surface, they all seem like totally different problems, right? But they are all part of the same pattern. It's that the world has cooked up all these new risks, and our old ways of handling stuff, they're just not cutting it anymore. But, and this is the good news, because they all follow a similar pattern, guess what? They can all be tackled with a similar solution. There's a single, universal framework, a playbook, that you can use to protect yourself against pretty much all of these new challenges. We're calling it the Universal Playbook. Basically, it's a simple, proactive guide that's all about putting you back in the driver's seat when things go sideways, whether the problem is tech, legal, or even environmental.
And here it is. It's really just 4 simple steps. First things first, get safe. That could mean pulling over to the side of the road or getting to a doctor. Your health comes first always. Step 2, and this is huge, document everything. I'm talking photos, data, notes, screenshots. Step 3, report it. Do it fast, but be really careful with your words. And last but not least, step 4, don't try to handle this stuff alone. Get some expert advice. This is your new first line of defense.
Now, out of those 4 steps, there's one that is an absolute game changer. I mean, it is hands down your most powerful tool in this new world of risk.
Just look at this chart. On one side, you've got all the typical excuses you're going to hear from corporations, from insurance companies, from sellers. And on the other side, you've got the power of your proof. They say it was your fault. Your car's black box data says nope. They say it's just anxiety. A second doctor's diagnosis proves it's a heart condition. They say you're an independent contractor. Your app logs prove you're an employee. Every single time, hard proof just dismantles their argument.
And really, that's the bottom line here. In a world full of complex systems and, carefully written corporate excuses, your documented proof, that is your power. It's the sharpest tool you've got to cut through all the noise and just show the truth.
Which brings us right back to where we started. The world and all the risks that come with it has definitely evolved. So the only question left is, has your plan to protect yourself, to protect your family, has it evolved too?